The Revital product range from Revital Fertilisers can be completely customised to suit the unique growing conditions on individual farms. Our representatives can arrange a soil test on your farm to identify what is required in your fertiliser mix to obtain the maximum benefit for your pasture or crop. Sustainable pasture is the key to profitable farming. Revital fertilisers contain a diverse microbial population which continue to grow and improve soil fertility and productivity.
Well, welcome back. Wasn't Suzanne a fascinating person? Great to speak to somebody who's headed some major festivals, things like WOMAD, and there's a few that she didn't mention, Tropfest, which is an international film festival, all sorts of things, all done from a little office downtown New Plymouth. And now we're in for an extra treat. I stepped outside for a quick breather to compose myself, and now we're going to talk of one of our local television stars, Astar, the Queen of Quirk, shall we call her. Hello there, Astar. How's it going?
Oh, it's great, thank you.
Yeah, what a lovely day that we've come into Taranaki for.
It was an interesting day, actually. I want to tell you that I wanted to kiss the pilot
Oh,
because
well.
we were coming in like this. It was like going home to Southland.
Yeah, I was going to say, a girl like Southland, this would be veritable summer.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's just exactly the same. The days you get into Invercargill and the days that you don't get out, it's exactly the same for me here. But sitting in Auckland, I did have to say to myself, we are going. And then when they said we may not land, I did have to say, we will. We will land. This is important.
Yes. Listen to this lady when she tells you what to do.
It's very important.
Yes. Now, I've been harbouring a bone to pick with you for a little
what
while.
have I done? Oh,
Last
no.
time we spoke, you gave me this great hint about Lucille Ball whenever she's on TV, that she leaned back. So I've been trying to do that for years, but everyone tells me I look like a hedgehog when I'm lying back.
No, what happened was, any photography that she, or any photographs, she lay down.
Oh, right.
So that everything all just fell back, but I could fix, I've got potions. I could help you.
Right.
I could.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, look, turmeric into a mask applied to the face is fantastic. A bit yellow for a day or two, but it does stimulate.
Yes.
And if you put a little bit of frankincense in it, you know, antibacterial, antifungal, it'll just like enrich your complexion.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. This is the sort of thing that I love to hear, an enriched complexion.
Yes.
Yes. Now, I was looking for a adjective to describe you, and everyone puts, veteran of the television screen. And I think like a constant breath of fresh air. 17 years you were on Good Morning, and every time you came on, you breezed in with something brand new. How hard was that to keep the enthusiasm and the brand newness going?
It was actually 18 years on the, that's like a life sentence for some people. Yes. I absolutely loved it. And I used to call it my community service. And then one day I thought, no, this is like national service.
Right.
And I honestly loved the whole thing. And that constant on the source looking, seeking, oh, that's a good idea, oh, that's a good idea. So I have not been lost for finding something ever.
No,
because it's like with nature, it's so easy because it's there. You just have to open your eyes and you see things.
Yeah, yes. Which brings, floral art, your big passion. There was a rumour that you were a failed Morris dancer, so you took up floral art. Is that the story?
Yeah, how do you know that? I can remember when we were at school, and I think it was Form 1, and there were electives. There was, what was it? Oh, Morris dancing or floral art. And
What a progressive school, though.
and Dad said to me, "Oh, look, I don't know, you and a maypole. No, I just can't picture it." So Mum thought that because I always had loved flowers, because I had a really great nan, and I spent a lot of time at her feet, and she was the one that got me into flowers, and it was just sort of, I can remember the first arrangement I ever made, and I also remember the first bouquet, and it was at the top of our street there was a convent, and the nuns had beautiful pink rhododendrons. I pinched them.
How beautiful.
I pinched them off their trees.
Yep.
But yeah, look, wiring the leaves and putting them around to
Yes.
form a wee collar, and getting the beautiful florets and putting them together and wrapping them with ribbon and pretending I was a bridesmaid.
Oh, gosh.
I loved it.
Now, as you've developed, with the Good Morning Show was obviously a big part of New Zealand, and one point I said, I saw a little comment, the modern Aunt Daisy. Did you ever follow Aunt Daisy or look anything
I
up?
remember Aunt Daisy. I remember listening to her on the radio, and what I find really sad about society now is that those old girls have gone, because I still live by the mend and make do.
Yeah.
And I grew up with gardening, so there was always something in our garden, and my garden always has something in it. I just loved it.
Yes, I was going to ask you, what's your garden like?
Oh, well, at the moment, the garden is a disaster. It is a disaster, but it is winter, and all I'm asking for is one last big storm, because I want all of the leaves gone. It is a wasteless, senseless. It's just pointless doing the leaves at the moment.
Yes.
But I've got a good harvest I actually call my compost a good harvest.
Lovely.
Oh, it's looking good. And there
Yes.
were worms at the top of the lid the other day.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
great.
excellent.
And I like that. This is my pride at the moment.
Yeah.
My wheelie bin will probably have nothing in it some weeks when it gets to be thrown out.
Gee.
I love it. Everything gets composted, and when I go to the supermarket, you don't want to be behind me, because I don't want that plastic.
Right, yes.
I don't want to deal with it. So I figured that if I'm a pain at that checkout, very soon, I don't need my toothpaste wrapped up in 3 lots of stuff,
No,
because it didn't used to be like that.
no, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't want to be dealing with it. So that's what I do. That's my little point of, I hope, a difference in society.
Yes. And how much of that as a message comes through, because we have the Astar channel on YouTube and everything. There's lots of different little bits and pieces that you're doing. Is that part of your ongoing message?
Repurposing, recycling, mending and making do, getting those windfall apples and turning them into apple cider vinegar. It's very nice, my apple cider vinegar.
Oh, well,
Very nice.
I'm booking in for a visit. Yeah.
And the tree that grows those beautiful Sourus apples, that was a cutting I found years ago. I went back we were in Invercargill, and then I went out to, always go out to Tuatapere,
yes.
where my mother, where I was born. I just love that Western Southland area. I found the apple tree and took a cutting, and I have grown that apple to producing not little blossom, but the blossoms like about that big,
Oh,
and the
beautiful.
most divine apples.
Does it have a name?
I don't know.
Astar's Delight.
I don't know. It was an apple tree that my nan used, and I found it. I didn't know where. I sort of kind of knew, okay, there's the house. It was about here, and in the corner way over there. I love those old apples.
Yes. There's a lovely tradition that I love talking about in Eastern Taranaki, which possibly applied down with your nan. When a young couple was first married, while they were away on their honeymoon, the neighbours would plant them an orchard.
Yes.
And today, all that remains in some places of that beautiful love. A few daffodils and apple tree and perhaps a chimney stone. Well, it's been lovely talking to Astar. The last time we spoke as part of the garden festival, she was only a little whip of a girl, says this old gnarly man here. And she hasn't changed one iota. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.